What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And today's video, or this week's video, is 5 reasons why you need to understand the psychology of sales. It's going to be absolutely fire. I am Best Bet Dan. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button and drop a comment because I want to know what you think. All right, let's get into the video. 5 reasons why you need to understand the psychology of sales as a young person, as a teenager. All right, first and foremost, let me kind of set the table. Sales is in everything, like literally, like selling is in everything. Now, here's what I want to do first. In many cases, sales is not what you have thought it to be, right? So and many young people are like, okay, sales is someone trying to get me to buy something I don't want, don't need. And it's kind of like this, mental jujitsu where I want to convince you to get something that you really don't want or whatever. That's not what sales is. Now, is there an element of persuasion at times in sales? 100%. And we'll touch on that in a bit. However, in most cases, sales is getting somebody something they already want, right? When you think about this, whenever you've been to a store or gone out to buy something, and you've interacted with a salesperson, 9 times out of 10, you already wanted what they were selling. It was just a matter of getting from the point of, hey, is there enough value to give them my money in exchange for whatever they're selling to me, right? So people, and it's funny, in the sales industry, you'll hear this all the time. People are not sales resistant. They are sales people resistant. Okay, so sales is not icky. Sales is not bad. Sales is actually necessary for business to happen. Like, think about it. You exist today. You exist today. As long as, everything was, consensual and it wasn't like, extenuating circumstances, but you exist today because a sale was made. Somebody, whether it was mom or dad, we don't know who it was, but somebody sold somebody a good time. Does that make sense? Like the idea of, hey, let's get together and make a baby. Okay. So sales are in everything. So sales are not bad. Typically people that do sales, they do it the wrong way, or they do it with the wrong mindsets. They do it with the wrong motives. And that's really what can mess people up or turn people off to salespeople. On the contrary, if you have someone who does sales the right way, they could be somebody that absolutely changes the game for you. They could be somebody that, gets you a product or get you a service that literally is like, yo, this is the best thing I've ever had. So really the person makes the difference when it comes to sales. Okay. So here's why you should understand sales as quickly as possible, right? Reason number 1. Okay. You always can have a career in sales. Companies are always looking for motivated, enthusiastic salespeople that are willing to go out and talk to people and share their products and services. Okay. So reason number 1, again, there's always opportunity, right? In understanding, sales on a bigger picture, rejection is a part of the game. So if you understand that rejection is a part of the game and you have an idea of, okay, this is how I can sell, guess what? You can always have a job. There's always an opportunity. Okay. Reason number 1, again, always an opportunity. There are always companies that are looking for motivated salespeople, enthusiastic salespeople. And I'll say this, I was introduced to sales, I want to say right around me being like 25 or 26, somewhere in that range. And when I really got in and I really kind of understood what I was doing, I literally was angry that I never was introduced to this in high school. Because here's the reality, right? Let's say in high school, you take the time to really learn sales, right? Whether you go to YouTube University or whether you work with me at Best Bet Skills Academy, whatever the case may be, you can leave high school, right? And go sell the fact that you know and understand how to sell to a company. And in many cases, you can out of high school start in the high 5 figures for sure if you're, good at it and you get in and you go to work, but you can get to 6 figures faster than almost any other career in sales. And that's having a job. That's not even like being a business owner. So like sales it's actually really dope. And again, there's so much opportunity there. Okay. The second reason why you need to understand sales and why understanding the psychology of sales will help you is because understanding how people make decisions is going to be huge when it comes to you in relationships, whether they're like a romantic relationship or whether like just friend relationships. understanding that, you know, there's a time and place for persuasion, and there's a time or place to kind of, okay, you know what, I'm going to lose this battle. And the great salespeople, right, they're the best at understanding, you know what, I've built enough of a relationship. I know we're going in the right direction. I know that this potential customer is a good fit. So I'm going to stay in the game, and I am going to leverage the ability to persuade, because I think if I'm able to do it, it's not just going to be a sale for me, but they're going to benefit from what they're buying. Okay. Now, again, on the other side of it, a great salesperson understands when to stop, when to say, hey, you know what, this probably is not my ideal customer. And you know what, let me let them walk. Let me let them walk, and let me let them walk having saved the relationship, because guess what? That no could turn into a yes down the line when they're in a different position. That yes could turn into a referral, because they simply are like, you know what? I like the experience that I had with that person. And so, you know what? I'll tell a friend to go talk to them, because I trust that if they're not the best fit, that this salesperson will be honest and have integrity, right? So in your regular life, you need to be able to gauge that in social situations. You got to be able to tell, you know, hey, when am I pushing too hard, you know, on something? Maybe you have a friend that, you know, you want to go to a certain party and they're not comfortable with it, right? And so now, you know, you're trying to sell them on why they should go. And you got to understand, you know what, maybe I need to back off. Maybe I need to just, you know what, hey, I respect them. And maybe on the next one, they'll feel more comfortable because you listen to them. Okay, so again, understanding how to use persuasion, understanding that it's not always the best thing to persuade somebody into what you feel they should do. And I'm telling you, once you watch this video, you'll kind of be aware of that, and you will appreciate so much more a good salesperson that doesn't push when you are not the best fit, or not the right fit, or it's not the right timing for you. The third reason why understanding sales is huge for any young person, or any person kind of starting their adult journey, you will save money. Now, Daniel, how the heck am I going to save money because I understand sales? Well, let's talk about it. So in sales, there's a word called profit or margin, right? Or gross profits, right? So every company, what their goal is to do is they want their salespeople to sell their products and hold the most value, right? When I say the term hold value, I'm saying like, hey, if this car is for sale, you know, for $30,000, we want to do our best to sell it at that price that we're asking for, okay? Because the more value we can hold in a car, the more profit the dealership makes. And that's what businesses are there for. They're there to make a profit, right? So understanding this, right? Let's say you're a consumer, and now you understand that there is margin, there is gross margin or gross profit built into the price of whatever it is you're buying. Now you can understand, hey, you know what? I can kind of push a little harder on getting the price I want, because I know that they've got margin. I know that there's an area that's profit that, you know what, if I kind of, you know, nudge them a little bit, if I kind of say, you know, I think you can do better. I think you can do better. I know that I probably can get into some of that profit and reflect that as savings for me and put that money back in my pocket. I do it all the time, you know, and it's funny because I'll tell you two things. So the one side of it is, when it's just bottom line for me, I just want the best price. I'm not taking any prisoners. I want my price. I'm going in there. I know what I want. I know what I'm asking for, and we're going to get the price that we want. Does that make sense? But on the flip side, you know, there are certain things where I may have some leeway. I may not, you know, be as tight on a budget, or the bottom line may not be the most important thing to me. So if I have a really good salesperson that's doing a great job, I may not kind of push for a lower price, because I understand, you know what, this person's good at what they do. I want them to get paid. I want them to be in a position to maximize whatever they can make for them doing a great job for me. Okay, so that is number 3, right? Understanding sales and understanding how sales works can help you pay less for things that you're going to buy anyway, because you understand that a big part of sales is being able to hold profit. All right. Number 4, the fourth reason why understanding the psychology of sales is huge. Now, overcoming objections. So that's a part of the sales process. And this is a part of the sales process where many people, if they're not trained or if they're new to sales, they really can kind of either get uncomfortable, they can get squeamish, or they can just flat out say, I'm not doing this, right? But here's the thing. In our everyday life, we're always in situations where we need to understand how to overcome an objection. So again, for an example, let's say, my wife, she's not in the mood, to cook dinner, right? She wants to, go out because maybe she has a long day. In our household, I don't cook, my wife cooks. If she didn't cook, we would starve. Okay, so that's how my house works. But if she doesn't feel like cooking this day, she may come and say, hey, honey, I'm just not really in the mood to cook today. What do you think about going out, right? Now, I may respond, you know what? We've been trying to save money. We got that vacation we want to take. We want to make sure we're on a tight ship right now because we want to just make sure we have the money we need for that vacation. So I said no. So now here's what's going to happen in many ways, right? And we do this so naturally as people. What she's going to do is she's going to say, well, you know what, my grandparents, they gave us that gift card for that one restaurant every Christmas. It's like $100. I think if we go there, we could feed everybody. So if we're able to use the gift card and if it works out, can we go? Now, what she just did is she just overcame that objection, right? And she did it by doing what's called the new information close, or excuse me, not the new decision close. She brought new information that then allowed me to make a new decision. So now with the new information, because I'm not thinking about the gift card. So now she brings that up. It's like, oh, snap, we do have the gift card. I've got new information. Now with that new information, I'm like, okay, well, if we go out to eat, we got the gift card, we're not spending money. She's happy. We don't have to do dishes, right? It's easier to get get the bedtime and all that stuff done with the kids because that's one less thing we have to do. And we probably can maybe watch a show tonight because she doesn't have to, do whatever. I don't have to do dishes, whatever, right? So boom, that's in social situations. And we do that automatically in some instances, but in other instances, people don't because they don't understand that when someone says no, a lot of times when people say no or you don't get a response that you expect, it's because that person does not have enough information. Maybe you haven't articulated something correctly. Maybe they didn't fully understand, what was said. You want to go back and you want to, clarify or reiterate what it is that, the idea that you were trying to push. So being able to overcome objections in order to put yourself in better positions or to put somebody else in a better position is another reason why you need to understand the psychology of sales. And one of the things when it comes to being in kind of like a situation where there's a little back and forth that kind of could seem uncomfortable depending on how you handle it, is there's different mechanisms. So in sales, your voice is a huge tool. And there's a phrase that it's not about the words you say, but it's the music that you play, right? So I was listening to one of my students give a practice sales call for booking a wedding client, right? So they're on Zoom and they're going through their role playing and I'm listening. So it gets to the point where he asked for the sale. Now, there was a built-in objection to this call because the lady, her fiance, was not able to be on the call. He got stuck at work. OK, so when he went to close, the objection came right away. Hey, got to talk to my fiance. Right now, what I heard earlier in the call that I picked up on that he didn't pick up on was she mentioned that she is the wedding planner and that is her jam, planning weddings or planning events. And she's kind of, heading this thing up herself and she is in charge. Now, for me as a salesperson, I'm going to know, OK, even though the fiance is not there, I'm probably going to be able to push a little bit harder because she really is the primary decision maker. So after kind of the presentation or after the sales practice was over and we were kind of just going back and forth, I said something. I said, let me just throw this in there. Now I'm talking to the bride to be. And I said, now, let's say when you said, hey, you got to talk to fiance, and da. What if he had said something like, OK, I understand you want to talk to your fiance, but a few minutes ago, and now listen to my voice inflection on this, too. It's really important. A few minutes ago, you told me that you were the boss, you were in charge, and events are your thing. So I know you're running stuff. You pretty much kind of just got to let him, hey, I found the one that I want and we're good to go, right? And it's funny because when I kind of put that scenario to her, she busted out laughing because that was exactly the scenario. And then she said herself that, you know what, if you had have kind of leaned on me like that with the humor, kind of, you know, reiterating or bringing back what I said, which shows active listening, that you're listening and you're not just listening to words, but you're understanding what's being said. She pretty much said, I am the boss of this wedding. Does that make sense? Okay. And again, as a great salesperson, I'm able to hear that and go back and when I'm ready to close and say, hey, look, you told me you're the boss. Now, are you the boss or are you the boss? Right. And so we had a nice chuckle about it. But she said, you know what? Absolutely. If you kind of would have came with an approach like that, I am the boss. Yes. And I probably could have done something where I could have got you that decision possibly today, but definitely tomorrow, because again, I'm the one that's putting it all together. Does that make sense? So kind of being able to be in the trenches and understand how to, you know, take things that don't look like they're going in your favor and kind of use the art of persuasion, listen to what people are saying, right? Listen to the music they're playing, because the other person, they're playing music too. And you got to be on the right wavelength to understand what they're doing. So this is it's not just useful in sales and in business. This is useful socially as well. Okay, so that was number 4, understanding and being able to overcome objections and not letting objections scare you, because typically when someone objects, they're really just looking for a bit more information or they're looking for some help to make a decision. All right, so the 5th reason why you as a young person should really be aware of sales and understand how to sell and what it is all about is because selling is by far one of the most stable careers there is. If you understand sales, and I'm not talking about, because, you know, business, it goes ups and downs, it goes up and down, different things flow. But if you understand sales and you build a business, right? Even as a W-2 worker, like if you work for a company, if you're in sales, you're building your own business. But if you do the right things and you build relationships, if you sell to the right people, if you have integrity and character, it is hard to go out of business as a salesperson. It's hard to be in a position where you can't make it work because those relationships will always come back to serve you. Okay. And a lot of times people think, oh, you know, sales working on commission, you know, being paid only when you sell something, or, you know, having a percentage of your pay be performance based is a negative thing. Well, I submit to you, it's the contrary. It's the greatest thing you could ever do because you can always bet on you. And even if your company is in a bad position and you end up going somewhere else, guess what you get to take with you? You get to take relationships, because people buy from people they like, know, love, and trust. So boom, those are the 5 reasons why you as a young person should understand sales. The earning potential is great. The advantages that it will give you in life are fantastic. And if you haven't already, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm Best Bet Dan. I do have a coaching program, Best Bet Skills Academy, where I coach young people on what I call social trades. They're social skills that earn money. So networking, sales, public speaking, content creation, teaching, promoting, and leadership. I absolutely love what I do. If that piques your interest and you believe that, like, wow, like that's something that, you know, would help me or something that I'm into, do me a favor. There's a link in the description of this video. You can check out the website and you can apply to work with me. I do work with students that are the perfect fit for what I do. I do not accept everyone. There's limited space. But if you're an achiever, entrepreneurial, if you are, you know, looking for things that make sense and want to be in a position to be an earner and be able to earn more money faster, I'm telling you, we definitely should have a conversation. So again, I am Best Bet Dan. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and drop your comments below. I want to know what you guys thought about the video. Until next time, this is Best Bet Dan. I'm out of here. Peace.